My name is Merrick, and this is the movement report for the Chilliwack Board, and we're talking the whole board. So we've got Chilliwack, Sardis, all the way up, I believe it ends in Boston Bar. So these are all of the numbers compiled, including Agassiz, Harrison, Hot Springs. You get the picture. Let's jump into it. Typically, we would see 337 sales in the month of June for all property types. That's your 10-year average. Well, we're down 27% in the Chilliwack Board. Only 246 transactions happened in the month of June. Active listings, however, are up 10.5%, sitting at 1,254, up from the 10-year average of 1,134 in the same month. New listings are up as well, 5%, sitting at 545. So we're seeing more inventory sitting on the market and more inventory coming on the market, and low transactions. This is normally a recipe for prices to fall. Well, let's take a look what's happening in the detached houses in Chilliwack. Now, for the Chilliwack Board, they don't do the HPI price, so these are average prices, and that greatly varies based month to month on what actually sells. So take these numbers with a grain of salt. The average home for the Chilliwack Board sold at $912,455, down $57,000 from the month of May at $970,000. Again, take that with a grain of salt. We're seeing downward pressure on houses in Chilliwack. Obviously, lots of inventory. You're going to have to reduce to sell. But again, it really depends on what was sold in that month. So take that with a grain of salt. Let's say that was $15,000 or a $20,000 fall instead of the nearly $60,000 fall. Still a significant drop in price. But again, average. We saw 126 transactions for detached houses, sales to active ratio around 19%. And we're seeing the days on market creep up on houses to 41 days on market. Pretty significant. Townhouses in Chilliwack, we saw 51 transactions, 31 days on market, and a 27% sales to active ratio. That means if there was 100 listed, 27 sold. The average price we're seeing in Chilliwack for townhouses is $615,000, up $21,000 from the previous month. And again, average. Take it with a grain of salt. These numbers aren't great, but it gives us kind of an idea of what's happening. Also, you could look at it in a way of people can afford to buy the townhouses and they're a little bit more stretched on the houses. That may be a factor as well. Apartments, 41 sales, 18% sales to active ratio, sitting at $459,000, up $55,000 from the month of May. So that's what's going on in Chilliwack. We're seeing inventory starting to swell, new listings still hitting the market, but sales transactions are down. This, I believe, will put downward pressure on prices through summer. Obviously, we were waiting for further decreases from the Bank of Canada for the interest rate, which would make buying a little bit easier. But unfortunately, inflation has started to tick back up, which means the Bank of Canada's hands are tied. They have to wait to do any further reductions. We were thinking they would do 4 reductions this year. They've already done 1 at a quarter point, and we thought there would be 3 more coming this summer at a quarter point. That may not be the case. They may not come as quickly as we thought they would. So we are, like I said in my other videos, on a wait and see to see what happens in our residential real estate market in the Chilliwack Board.